Hello everybody, it's Marty Hosking with Keller Greater Omaha again, and it's great to see you all here. Thank you for joining me for just a couple of quick minutes where we try to address some of the questions that you might have about real estate that I feel that I should be obligated to share with you as somebody who's in the mix here every day. And I hope they're somewhat helpful to you. By the way, some people have really enjoyed some of the ones that I've put up before, and if you do, feel free to forward those to people that you know who might find that to be helpful. And again, you can find them right here in the email. You can find it on my YouTube channel, and you can also find it on my website, www.martyhosking.com. So let's just get right into it. The concern or question that people have asked me recently quite often is this a good time to sell? Now, we did talk about on a previous message that it is a good time to sell because it's a seller's market. But there are other reasons that we might want to discuss or understand about the context of the real estate market right now to understand that. First of all, and this is the fundamental for me in my philosophy of helping people buy and sell their homes, is this a good time for you? I think only you can fundamentally answer that and honestly and from your heart if this is a good time in your life for a transition. Whether you want to go from being just a single family owner of a home and you want to go into the investment ownership, if you're getting married, if there's all these life transitions that require, or maybe downsizing that require a change in your home. And wanting to buy a new home and maybe selling home. And that should be the number one determinant from as far as I'm concerned of when it's a good time to make a move. The first person you're going to call is not your real estate agent, and it's not necessarily your financial person. It's more you're going to talk to your best friends, your family members, your girlfriend or boyfriend, your spouse, and then maybe even your higher power or wherever you get your sense of spiritual foundation in your life. You're going to find out, is this a good time? Once you've done that, and once you've felt like this is basically now or in the next 6 months, I need to begin to make a transition in my life in terms of my living situation. That should be the number one determinant, is when you're ready. So let's talk about some of the things going on in the context of the world right now and real estate that might help you understand better when is a good time for you to actually take the step that you maybe have decided on already. Right now, we're in a seller's market, as we discussed before. That means that there is typically less than 4 or 5 months of inventory in the market that to be bought. And so in this particular market in Omaha right now, we're down to like 1 month of inventory, and depending on the price range, it can be a little bit more than that or a little bit even less than that. So that's not enough inventory for all the buyers that we have. So the sellers, you're in a wonderful position right now to be able to maximize the return on the sale of your house, maximize that profit that you're going to get and from having fixed it up or having held it for a while, and get that money back and use that money for other purposes or for buying another property. When will this end, I think, is a question that people wonder. First of all, we know real estate is cyclical. So those of you who have lived long enough know that it goes up and down. It's cyclical. And then it's also influenced by large major changes in social changes, such as right now, potentially the COVID situation. Those who are able to buy, those who do have the money and whose jobs have not been negatively influenced by the COVID, fortunately for them, they're able to do everything that they've ever done with real estate and go right forward with it. Those who have been, whose jobs have been affected more negatively by COVID because of the type of jobs they are, like in the entertainment, food, and services, those people are not able to do much right now. And they're holding on pretty well. But remember, a lot of those people own houses or have mortgages. So an interesting statistic that we should all be aware of at this time is the one that I got from Sage Capital. They're calculating the number of homes in forbearance. You might remember with the CARES Act, homeowners were allowed to delay their payment of their mortgage so many months. And we understand most of those are coming up delayed until about March. Okay, so it's interesting to watch how many there are and how they're progressing. The statistic I have for you here today is really interesting. I was trying to get the statistic for how many there are currently. And there are about 3.8 million loans in forbearance, mortgages in forbearance. And that's a pretty large number. What's interesting about this statistic that I found is that they're actually bragging that since June, they've actually gone down. So in June, it was sort of like over 4. So it's actually gone down, the statistic, but we're still at 3.8. And so at the rate that it's going, there'll still be millions of loans in forbearance when March rolls around. And the question that we can just apply logically, I cannot read the future. I cannot predict the future. I can't say that the market's going to crash in the spring. But I think logically we might all agree that it's probably not going to be better. It may be a little bit worse, and then maybe some segments of the housing market will be worse than others. But I think a good professional and a good homeowner is making plans, at least looking ahead to see how things could be, and that if everything else lines up right now in your life for your decisions around selling and personally and otherwise, this would be a question to ask you would be, why not now? Why would you wait for something to change? As I used to say to some of my clients is, why would you want to trade in your bingo card in the spring? Because we might have different interest rates, although that doesn't look very likely, but we may have more houses on the market along with your house, either because they can't pay the forbearance, they can't catch up from the forbearance and they're going to just go ahead and sell it right away, or because we might start noticing some foreclosures and short sales coming onto the market. That is definitely going to raise the number of houses on the market, and as we all know, if the inventory goes up, the price goes down, right? So if we want to get that out of our max out of our house right now, why not look at consider doing that right now? Now, for some people, logistically, this is just going to be really, really hard. Like you're gonna, you have certain obligations with family, certain difficulties with moving your family at certain times of year, and for that sort of thing. That you just really have to trust that your life's going to be okay. But if you have the ability to sell now or within the next couple of next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, this would be a perfect time to do it right before Thanksgiving, right before the winter. Price it right, get it sold, and get the money in your pocket. The buy side, while it is harder than it would be in a different market, it's not impossible. So my team, usually we're getting the houses that people want, and we're getting them right away. We're winning those competitions, and there's ways of doing that, and we can talk about that in another video conversation that we might have. So the point is, we have lots of reasons to consider selling right now, and if you want to talk more about that, I'd really love to answer some more questions about that with you and to go into more detail about why that would be possibly a really good time. But the buyers right now are hungry. We have a strong market right now, and we really don't know what the spring is going to be, but we know probably it's not going to be better, and it actually could be worse. So give me a call. Let's talk further about that and see if I can't be of help with more specific details about your process, your life process that would include selling a house. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.